Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the PAPAJO Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe, and I really do appreciate you all being here today. It's been nice weather finally down here in the southeast. I absolutely love it when the spring rolls around. The only problem with spring is the daggum pollen. And for all of you folks who know anything about the stuff that they spray in the air, the trees absorb it and it gets into the pollen. And man, years ago I didn't have allergies. Now, hard to breathe. Same for my kids. Same for my wife. Same for the whole family. Anyways, I digress. So if you're watching live, do me a favor, and if you're new here, subscribe. Would greatly appreciate it. If you want to wait to the end of the video, no worries. Same with the likes. If you want to wait to the end of the video, grab that like if you like it. If you like the content that we do in these shows, go ahead and smash that like. What it does is it allows the algorithms in YouTube to do their job, find other people who want to see this type of content, and we have fun with it for sure. So also, if you're watching live, pop in the live chat on YouTube. We have a good conversation most of the time, and I love bringing people in here. It is a beautiful day. It is the end of the month, and we have fun with it. For those of you who don't know, I do a Patreon show every day at 4:30. It's the end of the month, beginning of the month next month, when everything will they do their renewals and whatnot. If you haven't yet and you're waiting to then, think about it. It does help the channel out, and it does for sure allow me to have a platform or a place to talk about things, kind of what I started off there a minute ago, stuff that I have to be very careful and dance around out here on this particular side of the channel, if you will. The whole channel as a whole, there's two different shows. There's the public, and then there's the Patreon. So think about it. Join it. It's linked in the description of the channel. It's also scrolling on the bottom of the screen as well. Also, if you feel like helping the channel out and you want to know more about what type of crypto to buy, more to have more in-depth conversations, there's an entire community of folks with the Crypto Confidential that's also scrolling them on there. That link helps this channel out. So if you want to grab it, sign up. Take a look at it. It's definitely worth the insights that are there. There's a report. There's a community around it. There's a whole chat setup and everything like that. It's definitely worth the investment. I'm enjoying it. I know there's a lot of other people that do. I know several of you have signed up, and thank you all who have done that. So it does mean a lot to me. So for my regulars, so today I'm trying to get the meeting moved. I have a meeting this afternoon that will go right into the start of the Patreon show. If I cannot get it moved, I may actually start at 30 minutes later than I normally do. So it'll be 5 p.m. Eastern instead of 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you are able to, I would, if I'm not able to, I'll let you all know with the post on the Patreon or in the private Telegram chat that's part of the Patreon. Anyways, so let's take a look at who we got in the chat today. And we'll go through here. We got Tom. Good morning, brother. How are you doing? It's good to see you, man. Appreciate you as always being here, dude. It is amazing. Looking forward to seeing you soon, man. Lithia, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. Good morning. How are you? Dario, good afternoon, my friend. How are you doing? It's good to see you, man. Who else we got here? Larry Stevens, how's it going, sir? It's good to see you. And let's see, we got Bitcoin Bull. What's up? Silver should be interesting to watch today. Yes, it should be. But I would love to know why you're saying that. It is interesting for every day, for sure. Oh, the fun times we are having in this space. I tell you what. Good morning, Kim. How are you? It's good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Gloria, what's going on? Thank you for being here. How are you? Oh, Daddy, my wife has always had severe allergies. She started taking ivermectin last year and zero allergies. For the first time in my life, we are in South Carolina, surrounded by pine trees too. Yeah, the Southeast is like Pine City, and it is like you walk outside and like the wind gusts and like a cloud, like almost like a sandstorm, just blowing pollen at you. Like it's you cannot get away from it. It is one of those moments. The only time wearing a face diaper is actually probably a good idea, but no, that stuff is good for your body. It's supposed to be good for your body. Problem is they have destroyed the environment. They have destroyed the environment with all the crap they're putting in the air and in the water and all that stuff. You know, we can talk about that kind of stuff on the Patreon. I should probably dig into that again. It's been a while. I wonder what they're actually putting in that now. So interesting on the ivermectin point, Daddy-O. Thanks for putting that out. Have something similar. I wonder if that would actually. Well, it's the same thing. I wonder if it would make a difference. It's all parasites. It's all whatever you want to call it. It's crazy. Uh Bitcoin Bull, if 30 minutes. Yeah. So the Patreon will probably end up being 30 minutes late today. So for that, I do apologize. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. So cool. Who else we got here? We got Busy Mountain. What's going on? It's good to see you, man. How you doing? We got Trinity Man. What's up, brother? It's good to see you. Good to see you all. Fantastic. Sai, how's it going? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I missed anybody. Almost did. All right, cool. Anyways, if you're watching live, we have a conversation, as you can see in the live chat. Now, when we dig into this stuff, we'll kind of gear that conversation around what we're talking about. So, first things first, I definitely need coffee. Holy moly. That's good stuff. All right. So, today, we're going to take a look at the housing market, inflation, some stuff around crypto, and we're going to take a look at my opinion on what is going on in different places for sure. Just checking the chat. All right, I forgot to share the screen, so give me a second. Hopefully I get the right screen. So the fun thing about doing these live is I don't get to edit these. You get to see me raw, and that's one of the things I love about doing the show. And I like having these types of things like this because we'll all realistically, everyone's so polished and pretty about different things. It's actually nice to come through and talk about this stuff and spend time with you all and do these things. And I like to just do that because it's more realistic, more personable. And that's kind of one of the things that we do here. So hopefully I got the right one. I won't share the wrong thing. I have thousands of screens open, it feels like. So today we're looking at Bitcoin and it's being slammed down. You see that long candle down and then that massive spike up. Interesting times. It's probably going to turn red. So someone's slamming Bitcoin down, probably trying to bring it back down to this, support, whatever. Didn't really get much above its resistance. Should be a fun day for that too. For people who short Bitcoin is crazy. Crazy times. But, the Dow's down, so they got to try and drop the Bitcoin down too. These are institutional traders. They are involved together doing this stuff. The institutional traders trade on the Dow. They trade on these other markets. They're going to do the same type of trading on Bitcoin. It's the same type of stuff. The only thing is Bitcoin never stops. So something to kind of remember whenever you see this stuff here. So we got gold. It's ticking up. And we've got silver ticking up. Bitcoin Bull mentioned silver would be fun to watch today. Well, they look pretty similar. You all know that they're manipulated. And you all know that these tickers here, that's paper silver, paper gold. There's not that much silver trading. I have another tool that doesn't really show up really well when I share my screen. So I don't really use it very often. I like to use this one because it's just easier for you all to see what's there. Most of the time, the other one just didn't work out so well, but it shows like the volume and things like that a lot easier. I could probably turn that kind of stuff on here. I just been lazy and haven't had time. Well, I haven't had time because I've been busting it out. So those of you who know, I do own my own company doing crypto and blockchain consulting. It's asterblockchainconsulting.com. It's listed in the description of the channel. Also, if you want to get access to, if I'm not available, there's the Bitcoin Consultants Worldwide. That is also in the description of the channel as well. Go check them out. Very, very smart, intelligent group there that can help you out with pretty much anything crypto. Fun times for sure. Let's see what we got going in the chat here today. Y'all having a great time conversating. Love it. All right, so we're going to take a look at the housing. So, are we on the verge of a housing bubble bust? An economist advises buyers to sit out the current irrational market and list the 11 most overvalued cities in the U.S. very interesting here. Housing bubble concerns are growing as mortgage rates rise, but the home prices continue to climb. More or less. More or less. At the time of when did this get written? Where there's usually a oh, okay. Well, it says 322. I don't know when it was written this month. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Scroll to the bottom. When was this published? Well, that's interesting. Usually it shows when it's published. Interesting. All right, cool. Whatever. It's this month. So it did rise a little bit, but it also did the same thing here. It kind of stalled. A lot of houses that have gone contingent recently, I've seen in our area at least, come back online. They've either funding fell through or something, like people looked at that, holy cow, that's a big payment or something like that because the interest rate's going up. Anyways, the economist Ken Johnson advises not to buy a house right now, saying the market is irrational. Insider breaks down Johnson's analysis of the 11 most overvalued American cities. And you probably aren't going to be surprised at the overvalued cities, right? Top analysts have started sounding the alarm that the American housing market may be headed for a major correction. I wonder why. This is stuff that I've been talking about with friends and family, and excuse me, you all know I haven't had the channel for very long yet. And this is stuff I cover often because last time the housing market had a problem, the entire economy had a major correction, major issue. So it was a big time correction. Okay, it went into a recession. Everything receded back. It is intense. Home prices have soared to unprecedented heights since the start of the pandemic in 2020. As inventory remains low and competition remains stiff. Median U.S. house prices rose 27% between the second quarter of 2020 and the fourth quarter of 2021, according to Federal Reserve data. Why do they care so much about that? If you've read The Creature from Jekyll Island, you'll understand why. And the market isn't cooling off, despite mortgage rates' recent increases. According to an economist who surveys house pricings in 100 U.S. cities, it's interesting. Let's go down here. Take a look at this. It has continued to climb. I've got a feeling that this was written last week or the week before because literally yesterday, day before yesterday, and today, the rates did bump a little more, but the housing didn't continue rising in value. Actually, there are new houses coming online that are actually lower in asking price in my area, at least, than they would have been had this not happened. They're still high, but they aren't increasing. They're not staying at that price point. They're actually decreasing. You're starting to see houses come down more in that, all right, that makes more sense kind of price range. They're still way overvalued though, like way overvalued. It's something to kind of keep an eye on. So let's get back over here. So, where was I? In a recent report, Florida Atlantic University, Ken Johnson said prices should level off with the mortgage rates rise, but recommended that buyers sit out the irrational current market. Despite continued price growth, Johnson said a handful of U.S. cities had become significantly overvalued. So the whole country is, but there are cities in this country that have gone just absolute nuts when their prices. When the Federal Reserve hiked interest rates by 0.25 percentage points, like nothing, a quarter. In mid-March, it looked to control inflation, which is running rampant for a 4-decade high of 7.9%. Guys and gals, you all know that that's like 20% or more because you see it in your grocery stores. You see it at the gas pump. You see it when you buy clothing for your kids. Wait till the school year starts and inflation's not curbed by then. Ho. School books, backpacks, clothing, iPads, you name it, they're gonna jump. Anyways, when interest and mortgage rates rise, house prices typically fall. They do. But Johnson's index showed that home buyers were still paying a premium in each of the 100 markets he surveyed. You know why they're paying a premium? Because it didn't hit them yet. That happened. It's always a slight delay, at least in what I've seen. Like last time I went and looked at the timing of when the rates rose, the timing of when the different stuff happening. It was like rates started rising, and then it was like 2, 3, 4 weeks later, it's something snapped, and it's just kind of coming down. Now we also have foreclosures that are starting to come through. The moratorium ended in March, right? It ended. I'm sorry, at the end of February it ended, right? Or the embargo, whatever it is, where they can't foreclose, they can't evict anyone out of a rental, and you know that those people who have those rentals are done with it, and they're gonna dump those on the market once they evict people. Because people aren't paying their rent, people aren't paying their mortgages, which is, in some cases, I get it. Some people just couldn't, but in other cases, like they're just straight up being irresponsible, spending that money and doing other stuff. So that's coming too. The court systems are now coming online, all this other stuff where they're actually starting to do this stuff. And it's actually very, very interesting to me to actually, it's the end of March, literally the last day. It's about to get crazy. The time when this stuff starts picking up, when people start wanting to move, school year's ending, they're wanting to be able to get into that next school district, blah, 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 whatever their reasons are. Okay. This is kind of where this goes to. And it's blah, blah, blah. Okay. Eventually, mortgage rates will slow down home prices, but it hasn't happened so far. Actually, I kind of started to notice that this week. They haven't risen more. The prices haven't gone up. I haven't seen a house that should be $300,000 go. They're still sitting at 550, 600, but they're not going 650, 700, right? Which is what they had been doing. He added, it's kind of exuberance, or that kind of exuberance led to the past housing downturns. Oh, I should probably read what he said here. I already read that part. We should not see rapid upticks in prices as mortgage rates highs. Right. I think there's a statistic. It's either 10% or 20%. That every percentage point the interest rates rise, the home value decreases. I think it's 20%. So we have gone from the end of last year, like 2 something. Now we've hit 3 something. Now we're in 4 something. We're about to be 5 something. See the correlation? The scales are going to tip. You're still going to pay on a 30-year mortgage. You're still going to pay the same because the interest rates are this, but the value of the home. So the bank wants that price that they know what people can afford because of their paychecks. They know what they can afford. So they're going to keep it the same. That's why it does this whole stupid pendulum crap. It's frustrating. You think the interest rates would go down, the price of the home would go down, and people would be able to afford a house that they want to live in, kind of thing, right? All right, so overvalued cities. Now, you never want to buy near the top of the market. Consumers need to pause if their main motivation to buying a house is they fear prices will rise higher. They need to stop. Prices are high now, but they always moderate back toward a long-term price trend. Jonathan added, "We are staying where you are now is letting this irrational market settle would be one of the best decisions you could make." Now, come down here. Boise, Idaho has been the U.S.'s most overvalued housing market since this summer, according to Johnson's study. Boise buyers pay a premium of 76% on the value of the home when buying a home. That's stupid crazy. Charlotte, North Carolina, broke into the top 10 for the first time since the study began last year, with home buyers paying a 50% premium. So they're paying 50% more than the actual value of the home. Research said that this reflected large population increases combined with significant shortage in housing inventory in the southeastern cities. People don't want to live in New York. They don't want to live in California. They don't want to live in Jersey. They don't want to live in Oregon. They want to live in a place where the laws are normal. Well, they better leave their stupidity around their democratic voting stuff, because the Southeast is a very big um, Republican, I guess you could say, or whatever, right-leaning type of an environment. So they've moved out of those cities and they're moving into these cities. And they're moving into these cities because, well, they're tired of the tyrannical governments that they have there locally. Mm. It's like I'm breathing in pollen even here in the house. It's really frustrating. Anyways, that large population, it's going to be crazy. Boise, expected price 291,000. That makes sense. Average price right now is 514. Austin, Texas, expected price 348. Average price 573. 65% premium. Ogden, Utah. I have no idea where that is. I've been multiple places in Utah. I don't even know where that is. Expected price 380. Excuse me, 318. Average price 512. Guys and gals, that's the average. On the top end of that, which is where most people are like, they want to push that number, they want to get that top end. That's 800,000. Yeah. Las Vegas is up. Okay. Expected price 267. The average price 417. Atlanta. Wow, Atlanta is up. Crazy. 230. That makes sense, I guess. Average price 354. No, it's not. No, it's not. Same with North Carolina. No, it's not. This is no, it's not. No, it's not. They're not looking at the right places. Same with Phoenix. They're not looking in the right places. 288, 433, 443. Provo, Utah, again. People like Utah. Utah's pretty cool. 364. Average price 560. What's this last one? Spokane, Washington. Washington State, 277 and then 423, 53%. Salt Lake City, Utah again. Man, why is Utah getting this whole bunch? You got Charlotte, North Carolina. It's only 50% more, but still, that's a lot. That is stupid crazy. Detroit's up. Expected price 156. Average price 232. Okay, that's the top 11 cities. That's crazy. And I could promise you right now that I live in one of those cities. And I could tell you right now that they're off on their numbers and their averages. That's a lot. They're taking best case scenario on the price points, in my opinion. That's just what I think. This is all due to inflation. This is all due to I'll call it the reshuffling of America. Daddy-o, yes, exactly. When Detroit and Atlanta are up, it's nutso. Detroit up, Atlanta up. Atlanta, I guess, is the New York of the South. They have the busiest airport in the world, apparently. Maybe I see that because all the tech people are coming here because they can work from home. I get that. Fine. But it's not, there's no way. There's no way. It's very, very crazy. Anyways, so this is all about to come to an abrupt halt. They raised the rates. The rates are continuing to rise. The banks want more. They want to curb this. There's no inventory. New home builders can't build new homes. New neighborhoods can't go up in my area. The home builders are not allowed to develop the massive neighborhoods on like quarter acre or smaller lots with a house. They're required now in our area to have a minimum of 1 acre, preferably 2 acre lots. So they're building these massive homes on them. and not everyone can afford those. So it's kind of one of those, hey, we're going to curb this, we're going to slow this down. It's stupid crazy. It is insane. Ouch. Something bit me. Something bit my ankle. Wow. All right. This is going to be fun. Remember all that the generation that's not used to things and they're entitled and they're all winners. Everybody's a winner. There's no losers. You play a sport and you lost the game and you didn't lose the game. Everyone won. Everyone did a good job. Pat on the back. Blah blah blah. Well, here's a reality check for that generation. And I actually agree with this guy. BlackRock president says that inflation will clobber entitled generation of consumers. There's an entitled generation of consumers. If you haven't noticed, they want everything. They think everything is owed to them. They think that they get blah, 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 blah. It has been at least 40 years since inflation has been this high as it is today. That means the entire generation of entitled consumers is about to learn some very rude lessons about life and money, according to BlackRock president Rob Capito. Capito, who is also the co-founder of BlackRock, the world's largest investor of other people's money, spoke this week at the Conference of Oil and Gas Production in Austin, Texas. For the first time, this generation is going to go into a store and not be able to get what they want, Capito said, according to Bloomberg News. And we have a very entitled generation that has never had to sacrifice. They really haven't. He said, according to the outlet, BlackRock has about $10 trillion of clients' assets under management. As its president, and the 65-year-old Capito made $22 million last year, putting him at the top 1/10 of the richest 1% of Americans. That is reported, if you will. According to Capito's comments, the economy is dealing with scarcity inflation. Part of it, yes, which is shortages of commodities, housing, and workers. I would put on your seatbelts because this is something that we haven't seen, Capito said, according to Bloomberg. I was talking to my local apparel guys. I can do my hats and stuff, my shirts, easy shirts. They can't get anyone to work because nobody wants to work. They want to make more, or they have to make more, or whatever. It doesn't work. Can't find work, can't do stuff, can't find people to do things. Well, guess what? These entitled people, they want more money, they want more benefits, they want their espresso breaks, they want blah, blah, blah. Get up, get off your butt, and do your job. You are going to go hungry. This Bible actually talks about this, about a lazy man who sticks his hand in the bowl and is too lazy to bring it back to his mouth. It says that that person will starve. But it was really neat about how God created the human body. Starvation will force them to work. It will force the laziness out of them. It really will. Oh, for the fun times that we are about to come into. Yeah, an entire generation. They don't know what's about to hit them. And it's not going to be a bad thing, but it's going to hurt for everybody. Service type jobs, restaurants, things like that, even just retail are going to suffer for a little while. They already are. You can see that. But when that entitled generation goes and they don't get a job, they're not going to be able to do anything. Now, there is one aspect that I think he's forgetting. There's an entire world and economy being built in a digital realm inside the metaverse. People are making money playing games. They're making money renting NFTs. They're making money doing all kinds of cool stuff, minting NFTs. They're doing all kinds of really neat things. They're providing these digital objects in a digital world. And they're making money doing it. There are people who make a lot of money doing this, and it's not hard work. So they're forgetting that there's an entire new economy coming. This is part of the reason why you're going to start seeing restaurants have robots serving your food. Because people aren't going to want to work because they technically aren't going to have to because they're making money in other ways. It's changing. The landscape in these ways are changing. The old system is dying. The old system is dying. Now, I'm going to have to mute this in a second. The Fed doesn't know how to fight inflation, and we're about to, or it's shut up, stupid video. And we're in for a bout of economic malpractice. So the other day I talked about how the Federal Reserve was saying it's because of government spending that inflation's so high. Well, now we're starting to see economic malpractice, things like that. They're actually starting to put all this into place. Our central banks are setting us up for an unnecessary slowdown in our outright recession, or in an outright recession. Busy Mountain, yes, they did. During the Depression, people on farms did quite well because people still got to eat. They still got to eat. What's going on, Bitcoin country? I grew up on a farm. We didn't know we were poor because we always had food. Learn how to hunt, learn how to grow your own food, learn how to raise cattle, chickens, whatever, hogs. You won't eat. All right, so you will not go hungry. You won't know the difference. Very, very crazy. The worst inflation in 40 years has belatedly spurred the Federal Reserve to embark on a series of interest rate hikes. The only problem with that plan is that it won't work. It won't work because that will cause the economy to collapse because they can't. This is how debt works. You borrow interest. Means you got to have money from somewhere else to pay that interest and pay back what you borrowed. If the Federal Reserve runs the economy because it's the lifeblood printing the money and it has it has interest on it the whole time, where's the extra money going to come? If they went to pay back all the debt, they would never be able to pay back the interest ever because there's not enough dollars in play to do that. Oh, the fun times. Let's a little pace back down here at the bottom. Good intentions, but it was clear by the end of 2020 that spending was overdone. Nonetheless, oh wait, that's the wrong one. It's all right. Here, the Federal Reserve has created a potentially catastrophic time bomb, which they did. We've been saying this on the show. It's finally Fox Business is talking about it. Hey, Fox Business, let's do an interview. I'll come on here and talk about this stuff. Let's see here. It has been employing a gimmick to keep most of its new money from flooding the market. With that bond buying, it creates money. Did y'all know that? Those mortgage-backed securities, $120 million a month. That's a bond, technically speaking. Fun times. But the Federal Reserve has borrowed that money back from the financial system almost on a daily basis by using a device called reserve repurchase agreements. Reserve repos, in short. We've talked about repos. Go follow Big Square. He talks about the overnight repos in great detail. It's like pouring water in one end of a pool and then taking it out on the other end and then putting it back. Saying that you're refilling the pool. But you're also it's just no. In February 2020, owned none of these particular instruments. The latest number is a stunning 1.7 trillion. They're on a daily basis, 1.7 trillion. These kind of games almost always end badly. This is what's coming. They created their own mess. This is why on my show and on my channels and all kinds of things like that, I talk about how cryptocurrency is going to be the exit strategy. That blockchain technology and these companies that people call shitcoins are going to be the new stock market, and they're going to be the new way of investing in businesses to solve real world problems. Okay. Terra, Luna, they're buying a lot of Bitcoin right now so that they can go and back their currency. Okay. Look into Ambrosis. I don't hold any Ambrosis, but they're actually solving sensory related stuff into a blockchain to get that stuff into a supply chain. Go look at a Polygon. I talk about that one all the time. Divi. You guys and gals know what Divi is. Go look into these things. There is a new economy being built. And while I don't disagree that there's an entitled generation that is going to have a rude awakening, they might figure out another way to make money. Just something to be mindful of. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it there, folks. Kind of went over a little bit. Sorry about that. You all have a wonderful and blessed day, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to do the Patreon about 30 minutes late today. I do apologize for that. If anything changes, if I can get that moved, I'll do it at a regular time, or if something else comes up, I'll let you guys know one way or the other. But if you're not part of the Patreon, you should think about joining. It's where we get to talk about stuff and be in an unfiltered manner. I don't have to be concerned about what I say. Videos can come down. I'll put it back. This channel, though, that doesn't work that way. Anyways, you all have a wonderful, blessed day. And I will, I'll see you all this afternoon as long as nothing crazy happens. See you later.